What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to check out some cards that are down 80+%. All right, first up, we have this Joe Burrow 2020 Prism Base PSA 10. Back when everybody was jumping back into the sports card hobby, this card started at $500 in 2021. If you recall, there was some grading backlogs and everybody was trying to get their hands on this card. Jumped all the way up to $718, and then it peaked at $744 in a PSA 10. And it quickly fell down to $244 in 2021. I guess jumped back up during the playoff run that year, and then ever since has been on a very slow but steady decline all the way down to $150 in 2024, and now in January of 2026 it's under $100, down to $82. That's good for an 82% decline. Next up, we all remember Kyle Lewis, the Rookie of the Year back in 2020 or 2021. I certainly had a number of Kyle Lewis cards that were graded, and have recently been selling them off for next to nothing just to get them out of my storage. So if we check out the lifetime chart here, this card, this is back, these are probably a number of my purchases here. Looks like there's some PSA 10 selling for $90, $88. I swear there were sales higher than this of this 2020 Topps Chrome rookie card. Starting at about April of 2021, the price fell off a cliff from $90 down to about $30. Ever since then, it's been going down and getting even worse. So in 2024, looks like there was a sale for $1.81. And then we see just sales for next to nothing, $4.99. These are sales of PSA 10 cards over the last year. Here's a sale in May of 2025 for 99 cents. And then the most recent sale was January 13th, 2026 for $5.50. That's good for a rate of growth of negative 93% on Card Ladder here. Next up, we have this Daniel Jones Silver Prism rookie. So this isn't the base like the Joe Burrow. This is the Silver Prism. This card started back in 2020 at $500 and then had a pandemic peak all the way up to almost, it looks like the sale was $1,400 in September of 2020. Fell way down in 2021, rebounded a little bit back up to $700. And then as you can see, this card has trailed off ever since. It's moved from that $800 mark down to about $76 in 2023, $80 in 2024. And then this year, Daniel Jones did all right with the Indianapolis Colts. So, this card went from let's call it $30 to $40, and it spiked back up in October of 2025 to $325. So if you're holding from back here, hopefully you got out right here because Daniel Jones got injured. Phillip Rivers came in for him for to end the season for the Colts, and now this card is dropping again. So the most recent sale, if we look at the last 6 months, you see this ramp up and then it's moving back down after the injury. The most recent sale was January 4th, 2026 for $100. So over the life of this card, if we go back to that all-time chart, this is good for an 80% loss, assuming you bought pre-spike. Next up, we have the 2019 Ja Morant Donruss Optic rookie card in a PSA 10. This rated rookie card has been graded a PSA 10 9,605 times. So there's a lot of these out there. Back in 2020, it started at $100. It moved all the way up to over $350. And since 2021, it's been on a steady decline, probably because of the massive population. And the most recent sale was $20. So over the last 2 years, it's down almost 50%. But for the lifetime, we're looking at an 80% decline. So again, it looks like we saw the Joe Burrow base card. It looks like there's nothing good in collecting the PSA 10 base cards, probably because these massive populations. This, we have a Justin Herbert Panini Mosaic base card, graded a PSA 10. Similar story back in October of 2020. This card was selling between $300 and $400. And as of 2026, this card sold for $25 on January 10th, 2026. That is good for a 92% rate of return. So I think this is a bit of, high population. Here's 5,847 PSA 10s. Also, over the last 6 years, Justin Herbert hasn't really made any deep playoff runs. So probably a little disappointment. So we're seeing his prices come down from that as well. Let's look at a Justin Fields 2021. This is the silver prism, so it's not the base. Justin Fields started with the Bears, went over to the Steelers. I think he's on the Jets now. But this card came out of the gate hot in 2022, and this is why I don't recommend buying right at the release. This card sold for over $1,000 in June 30th of 2022. Then it immediately dropped all the way down to $300. A bit of an increase or a rebound up to $600 mid-2023. And ever since then, it's been a steady decline. This card is down 95% over its life. The most recent sale of this silver prism was December 28th, 2025 for just $45. So hopefully if you were holding this card, you got out. If you're still holding and hoping for a comeback, I guess we'll see. Maybe next year's the year. And then finally, let's look at this LeBron James card. So even the GOATs are susceptible to major drop-offs. All right, so back in the 2020 timeframe when cards were spiking, this was selling for about $206. This is the Prism base card from 2019. I think it's LeBron's first year in a Lakers uniform. And then in late 2020, huge spike up to $750 for this base Prism card. And then after that, it's like a roller coaster straight down. So within 6 months, not even 6 months, it looks like it was $750 here. I can't even get $750 here in August of 2020. And by November, the same year, it was all the way down to $125. So it quickly lost, it's just a ladder right here down, quickly lost value. It might, again, be due to this huge population. There's 13,632 PSA 10s. And then gradually over the last 5 years, this card has gone from $113, $105 in a PSA 10. And we can see it going down to $20, $18 in 2024, and $8.50 in 2025. And then it looks like if we look at the most recent sales here, looks like the most recent sale, January of 2026, is $22.50. So I want to hear from you guys. Are you waiting for any of these 90+% droppers to return to their glory and reach these levels, these peak levels here? Or have you sold out and moved on? Thanks for subscribing, everybody, and we'll see you next time.